Hey. 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 It's your boy Clayton. Welcome to the Dunk Perspective.
From the court to the crib, yeah, we cover it all. Wins and losses, when we rise or we fall. Love and fate, real life in effect. Every angle, every play, the Dunk Perspective. Hosted by Clayton Shields. The Dunk Perspective.
Man, shout out to everybody watching. I want to welcome you to the Dunk Perspective. It's your boy Clayton. Let's get to it. Before we do that, I want to introduce you to my trusted sidekick, Light Hand. Wave to the people, Light Hand. Light Hand, my trusted sidekick, do whatever I tell him to do. He's going to be around from time to time to kind of help me out. Y'all get used to seeing him. But we got big news today, Dunk Perspective. NCAA March Madness. This time of the year, people wait on. People wait all year for March Madness, and it's here now. So we got some things to talk about with March Madness. Some of the big news, just like every year, there's always upsets. There's always some team that come in, not supposed to do well, supposed to lose in the first round, and they upset one or two teams or three, just depending on what happens. We had that happen in the previous years. I remember James Madison, and I want to say Clayton, some of the other schools that really have dug deep into the tournament. But that's why you play the tournament. You get a chance to win. Everyone gets a chance to win. That's why you play the game. That's why they don't just give teams wins. You got to go out. You got to play for 40 minutes and win the game. One of the big upsets this year so far has been VCU over North Carolina. I don't think anyone saw that coming. We'll call that a bracket buster. I'm sure a lot of brackets went in the trash after that. North Carolina was up 19 points. May have relaxed a little bit. May have thought that the game was over. They had it won. I don't know. That's on the coach. But for VCU to come back like they did and take that win, I think that was one of the biggest upsets so far in the tournament. And not to mention, High Point over Wisconsin, a 12-5 seed. They win 83-82. Something about those 12-5 seeds. It seems like those 12 seeds give a lot of 5 seeds challenges over the years. If you pay attention, a lot of 12 seeds tend to knock off the 5 seeds. So in this case, it happened with High Point defeating Wisconsin. And there's some good games going on now. So we'll see what goes on. This is just the first round. If your bracket is still together, good for you. You got to have a little bit of luck to keep winning and having your bracket maintained. A lot of these picks are not easy picks. You almost have to guess. Some of them just not as simple as you would think that they are. First round down, we'll be going into the second round. I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot more upsets. What a time of the year March Madness is. I was able to play in March Madness 3 out of 4 years in college, and it was great. Let me tell you, amazing experience. Playing some of the top talents, playing against schools that you wouldn't otherwise play against, going in places around the country and playing in some of the most fan-fanatic gymnasiums and arenas around the country was just a really great experience. And I tell you, a long time ago, and I wasn't getting NIL money. So definitely enjoying that. So enjoying watching it, always have enjoyed watching it. And we'll keep up with it. Let me know in the comments what upset you think is gonna happen coming in the second round. If you got a wild pick that you say, hey, I think this team's gonna upset this team, let me know beforehand. Let's not wait till the game is played. Let me know what your picks are. Let's see if somebody can get one right. I tell you, it's a tough thing to do. And continuing with March Madness, there's a second part or another tier of March Madness. And it's the NIT, the National Invitation Tournament. I gotta tell you, I don't know if the NIT is still worth playing. I'm just being honest. when you look at the fan support for the NIT, it's just not there. A lot of the teams that played in that first round of NIT had such a low fan turnout that I don't even see how it was worth it in some cases. I think the lowest turnout I saw was 542 fans, if I'm not mistaken. On average, teams were getting a quarter to a third of their normal fan base showing up for those games. Well, why is that? Why is it if your team is playing in the NIT, you're no longer interested as you would be if they were in the NCAA tournament? NCAA tournament, fans pack flights. They fly all over the country to go support the team. NIT, a lot of these teams are playing at home, and the fans are still not showing up. I don't know. I don't know what the reason of that is, or why the NIT is not getting, well, it's not going to get the same support, but why it's not even getting any of the similar support even when teams are playing in their home arena, why the fan base is not showing up. I'm going to be frank. My college days, we called the NIT the not important tournament. It was a mindset. You go to the NCAA tournament or you go home. There was no secondary trophy to try to attain. I played for a coach. My freshman year, we were invited to the NIT, and he ripped up the invitation and said, we're not going. Probably upset some of our seniors who want to have an opportunity to play another game or two, get a chance to go and get some more exposure. But the mindset for the University of New Mexico, which is where I played at that time, was NCAA or bust. And we never even had to be invited to the NIT again because we were in the NCAA tournament every year from that point. So I get it. It's a mindset. But let me know if you think the NIT is still a valuable tournament to play in, to exist. We're in a time of NIL and transfer portals. I think that makes it a little bit different now. And it's in my personal opinion. I just don't think that NIT holds any value any longer. It's definitely not going to grow. It's only diminishing. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. I kind of liken it to the NBA. The NBA put in this mid-season championship. What's a mid-season championship? I'll never get that. How do you win the championship in the middle of the season? You win a championship at the end of the season. You play the season, you make it to the finals, and you win the championship. How they created some definition of mid-season championship is beyond me. But that's where we are. They did it. They feel like it's something that's working for them. I can't even tell you. I think the Lakers won it once or something like that. But I can't even tell you who wins those championships. But I know whoever wins the mid-season championship does not win the NBA Finals. Give me the NBA Finals if I'm on those teams. But let me know in the comments if you even remember. Don't Google search it. Don't look it up. Tell me the last 3 in-season championship winners. Some of y'all gonna cheat though. But I tell you, I can't tell you off the top of my head. So again, that's just something I just think that just doesn't hold value to the league or hold value for basketball. But hey, we'll get into talking about more about the NBA. All right, we're getting into the late season of the NBA. Teams are pushing, jockeying for position, going into the playoffs next month. In the Eastern Conference, Detroit is still leading. Boston's 4 games back. New York 5.5 games back. It's going to be a close race in the East. I think Detroit gained a lot of experience last year playing against New York in the playoffs. And their star, Cade Cunningham, is obviously propelling them to a whole nother level this year. I look to Detroit to hold on and be the first seed coming out of the East. In the West, of course, OKC is at number 1. They have clinched the playoff spot, followed by San Antonio. You would think that, or I would have thought that Denver or LA or someone might be up in the second seed, the way LA's been playing over the last few weeks. But San Antonio has clinched. They're 3 games back. And they're kind of the kryptonite for Oklahoma City. Not sure what the record is for San Antonio and Oklahoma City, but I know San Antonio holds the lead. Oklahoma City really struggles against San Antonio. Then the Lakers have moved themselves up into 3rd place, and they're 10 games back of OKC. But they're not expected to catch them. They just want to, of course, get into the playoffs. That's everybody's goal, to get into the playoffs, give yourself a chance to start 0-0. Because that's what essentially it is. You play the season, you get to the playoffs, and you're 0-0. And just like the NCAA tournament, you get hot, you have a chance to go deep into the playoffs. With that being said, we got a really, really hot MVP race. Looking at some of these star players and what they're doing now, pushing their teams at the end of the season. You have some veterans, sure. You have the SGA at Oklahoma City. He's a veteran, won a championship last year. He's doing his thing. He's going to do what he does. I'm just looking here. Victor Wembanyama propelled himself up into the MVP race. So, I mean, why not? This guy's a 7'4", 7'5" Kevin Durant in his prime. The guy hit the league with handles, step back threes, ability to finish, block shots. He does it all. And I think he's the future of the NBA. So there's no question why he would be in the MVP race this year. And what San Antonio is doing, again, they're number 2 seed in the West right now. You can't take away from that. I mean, SGA is averaging 31.7. Wembanyama is 24.2, 11 boards and 3 blocks. Then you have the old wily vet, the guy that never smiles, the guy that just punishes people. What do you do with the Joker? The Joker, 28.6 points, 12.5 boards, 10.5 assists. You got a big man averaging a triple-double like that. That is absolutely amazing. I know Wilt Chamberlain put up those types of numbers back in the old days. But you have Nikola Jokic, who I just like to watch because he's not friendly. He doesn't smile. He's not out there trying to make friends. He wants to win games and go home. And something about that I really like. And so I really like watching Jokic. Luka Doncic, everyone knows Luka. He's the face of the league with the Lakers. 32 points, 32.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8.5 assists. Luka's going to be Luka. We all know what he's going to do. He's going to come up and have crafty 40-point games. He's going to make big shots. He's going to, go down, talk a little bit. He's a little bit of a trash talker. Kind of got to love that about Luka. He brings a lot of excitement to the game. And now we got the Cade Cunningham, the Donovan Mitchell, the Jaylen Brown, not to mention Anthony Edwards. I mean, these guys are all vying for that MVP trophy. And, I wouldn't be surprised about any of them that gets it. To me, they all have a chance in the way that they finish this year. Who knows? Who could rise up over the next 4 weeks and really claim that trophy. So let me know in the comments who you think the MVP is going to be this year. I know some of you have your favorite picks. Try to be realistic. Let's look at the numbers and look at how that player impacts their team. And let's see what you come up with. So we'll be back. We're going to talk about some NBA talk, some the WNBA Players Association got them a new contract. So let's talk about that. All right, real quick, got some WNBA news. The WNBA and the WNBPA have agreed to a new contract. This year, their salary cap goes to $7 million. $7 million, 2026. Some of the star players in the league, will be earning upwards of $1 million to $1.4 million. The WNBA, they play 44 games. So I think that's a big win for the ladies playing in the WNBA. It's a big win for their market. I think the argument over the years have been that the WNBA hadn't produced financially nowhere near like the NBA. But that has changed with the addition of course, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Wickers, some of the other stars that are in the league now. The market has grown, and good for them. They're able to get some of the larger salaries that they've been fighting for, frankly, for years. That salary cap, by the end of the contract, will be at $10 million. So you will have players in the WNBA getting paid upwards of $2 million a year. Again, they play 44 games in the regular season. So how many of you would play 44 games for that kind of salary? I would, but the WNBA, good for them. They fought for it. They were able to prove that they were worthy of it and it was justified. And, you know, I'm not mad at them at all. Not mad at them at all. But let me know in the comments what you think about the WNBA new deal and the money that they're going to be getting paid moving forward with this massive, massive contract and this massive salary cap. All right, so going back to the NCAA, and we're going to go to the University of Alabama basketball team. Their junior guard, Aiden Holloway, was arrested on March 16th, found to be in possession of over 2 pounds of marijuana. I mean, Aiden is fighting the charges, or he has exclaimed through his attorney that he just uses marijuana. He doesn't sell it. And who's to say that that's not the case? Aiden has not been convicted of any crime, but he has been arrested and charged. He has been suspended from the team, and he's away from Alabama for the NCAA tournament. Aiden is their second leading scorer, averaging over 16 points a game. Now, Alabama did win their first round game, but how much is that going to affect their team moving forward without having a player of his caliber on the floor due to something like this? You know, I don't know if you justify it for Aiden if he was trying to sell marijuana. There's some indication that a search of his phone found information that he was actually dealing. So, you know, the police, they get your cell phone, they search, they get a search warrant, they search your phone. And if they found text messages where he was selling the marijuana, he's going to be in a lot more trouble than being a user. So this is really, really a disheartening thing to see, because he has an NIL valuation of $286K to $500K. Why would you be selling marijuana? There were days, and I'm not justifying anything. I want to make that very, very clear. I'm not justifying anything. But there were days where college basketball players, I played during that time, we were living on Pell Grants and very, very, very low monthly stipends to help to get us our rent paid, any bills paid, keep gas in our car. A lot of us live during the training table, which is where the school sets up a place for you to eat after practice, after games. And me and my teammates, we used to go to training table, get to-go boxes, and try so that we can have food for the rest of the day, and maybe a little bit of food in the next morning. So this was the struggle of players up until NIL. So you get into NIL and you have an evaluation of $286 to $500K, and you're selling marijuana. Hopefully he wasn't. Hopefully it just turns out that, you know, he's just a user, and that's it. And then his punishment would probably be a lot less. But I gotta say, it's not looking good. He has been released on bond, but how does this affect his career? Can he go back to the University of Alabama? Well, I doubt that. How does that look for any chance for a professional career, being drafted by the NBA? How are teams going to view him now? You know, I think he just made things a lot harder for himself. And either way, with this segment, you're going to have to just throw in the towel. Aww. All right, I'm going to get out of here. But I'm going to leave you with this. Don't underestimate nothing. Stay ready. Stay disciplined. And when your moment comes, finish strong. Finish strong. Remember to pray, keep the faith, and dunk on them. Until next time, we'll see you again on The Dunk Perspective.
The Dunk Perspective.